Yeah, top of the SportsMax Zone with the schoolboy football action from Trinidad and Tobago. Defending champions Fatima College struck late to earn a dramatic 1-0 draw with Naparima College in an early season clash of giants when the Premier Division of Trinidad and Tobago Secondary Schools Football League SSFL continued at the Fatima ground earlier on Wednesday. Here's a roundup of the action from Brent Sancho and Hans Devines.
Thank you very much, Ricardo and Mariah. As the sun sets here in Trinidad and Tobago, Fatima College and Naparima College on match day 3 of the SSFL Premiership Division. The final score 1-1. Yours truly, Hans Devines. I'm here, Colin Murray, Brent Sancho. Guys, this game felt like a final. Everything about it.
No, it was really a good game. I think both teams, at the end of it, a 1-1 was a fair result. I thought it was a game of two halves. Naparima dominated the first half. Fatima came out in the second half. They wanted to win the game, and they put Naparima under real pressure. They made a couple substitutions. Michael Shaves came on. I thought he made a difference. And at the end of it, 1-1, fair result.
Well, so much about conversations and X's and O's and tactical approaches. This game came down to the team that wanted it the most. Both halves of football showed that, sirs. Naparima College starting like a house on fire, showing that appetite to win football games. They were first at every 50-50 situations and second balls and dominated Fatima. And all of a sudden, Fatima came to life in the second half, and they were the ones putting the pressure on Naparima College. At the end of the day, as rightfully said, Colin, it has been a deserved 1-1 draw and an entertaining game of football.
60 years of Secondary Schools Football League. Let's take a look at the highlights of this matchup.
Yeah, and it started with when with Naparima starting to go forward, and that was the goal. Unfortunate, a mistake from goalkeeper O'Brien, the ball slipping through his hands, and there was Prokop just to head it on. And in the second half, Naparima started quickly, but again, Fatima started to dominate. They brought on the substitutes. It made a change to the game, and then they started to pile the pressure on Naparima. There was an opportunity that couldn't get the ball back, and it went over the line. But certainly, this man Romain started to be under pressure. He made a couple of good saves, but Naparima was never out of it. Vespri was taking some shots from a range. Then also Carrington, who had come on, he was also Hills as well, trying to do things for the Naparima team, trying to stretch the lead, because you just thought if they could have got that second goal, things would have been happening for them. But Fatima kept pounding. They kept looking for that goal, and then the shot came. Brilliant save from Romain. That was Correa who had that shot. He was always a menace for that Naparima defense. But he had help in the second half with Shaves and Gobin. In the first half, he was more isolated. But then again, coming forward. This was Shaves. This was his best chance. He should have done better, and you could see that from his reaction. It went straight to the keeper, but then Shaves with a long ball, Correa fighting, getting in between the two defenders. Really a defensive blunder. They should have closed them out. The two defenders, they didn't, and give Correa a lot of credit. He never gave up, and he was able to get there, push it away from the keeper, and just like that, Fatima got back into the game at 1-1. At that point, there was about 5 minutes left, and you had to think that, you had to think at that stage, either of them could have got the winner. But in the end, as I said, I thought 1-1 was a fair result.
Definitely, it's match day 3 has come to an end. Looking at match day 4, gentlemen, what are some of the fixtures that we are really looking forward to seeing?
Well, I think one of the fixtures that stand out is the St. Benedict's versus this very same Naparima College team, as well as, of course, a presentation match against Fatima College. I hate to talk about winning leagues and winning games off of very early fixtures, but you have to think for what we've seen so far, there are about 3 or 4 teams that stand out, and Pres, Naps, Fatima College and St. Benedict's are those teams. Of course, honourable mention to Rima North Secondary, who go to Malik Secondary, who's been doing quite well. Surprise start so far by Signal Hill Secondary, not the best of starts by St. Mary's College. That would be a key fixture as well. And San Juan North are always there and thereabouts. They face a very difficult tie against another East Zone representative in Trinity College East. It's been very poised so far, entertaining football. It's difficult to say who we believe can go on to win this. There's a lot of parity in what we've seen so far, but entertaining football certainly here this afternoon in Fatima College Ground. Well-earned point by both teams, something to build on as this season is really starting to kick into gear.
Well, remember, we also have action happening throughout the Caribbean as well. Let's talk about the Cup.
Yeah, I think when you look at Eastern schoolboy football and what we've had here in Trinidad and Tobago, we're starting to see an improvement from a Trinidad and Tobago perspective. There was a bit of division going into last year and the year before. I think now we're starting to see teams coming up to scratch to what we would expect in those levels. Both sets of secondary school football have provided a lot of entertainment. The likes of Jamaica College and Kingston College always comes to mind when you talk about Eastern schoolboy football. Produce some tremendous talents, and I don't expect anything less from Eastern schoolboy football. We've seen it at the national level for Jamaica. They came here in Trinidad and Tobago and won the CFU under-14 title with some very, very talented youngsters. I expect that production line to continue.
It's interesting, before you go on, Hans, it's interesting, Brent, that you've said the standard is now starting to diminish a little bit. It's early days yet, but what we saw here this afternoon between the two teams was good, and that's a good sign going forward.
Well, good signs tomorrow is the schoolboy football. Pembroke against Ascot and JC face off against Excelsior. And in Trinidad and Tobago on Saturday, St. Mary's College versus Signal Hill Secondary School live. We bring you all the action, and you can keep up with all the action on the SportsMax app. Ricardo, Mariah, back to you.
Yeah, thanks very much to you, Hans, along with Colin Murray and Brent Sancho, seeing the synergy there between what's happening in Trinidad and Tobago and what's taking place in Jamaica, as the team in TNT pointed out. Schoolboy football action coming up live on SportsMax platforms on Thursday in Jamaica. But Mariah, very good early season clash for both Naparima and Fatima College. Fatima, the defending champions, leaving it late but getting the important goal to come away with a 1-1 draw. You know, I think a lot of times when you enter competitions, it's always good early in the campaign, not too early, but this is what, third match for one team, second match for the other team, to sort of get a tough run out where you are challenged significantly, so you get a true understanding of exactly where you are in your preparations. And I think both Fatima and Naparima College got that today in this encounter.
Yeah, both very, very good teams. Even from the days when I was going to high school, Fatima versus Naps match would, draw out a particular crowd because of the quality of both teams. There are also a couple other teams, Ricardo, to watch. Presentation College in San Fernando, as well as St. Benedict's College in South Trinidad. Top 4 teams, if you were to ask me. A lot of quality coming from these different teams, and I can't wait to see personally which one of the teams that were not called in those 4 that really surprises me this season. Puts up a tough run, shows a lot of quality, and of course their players step up. What I will say is, if you think today was a taste of quality, we have to still see Presentation College go up against Fatima College, and we're to see St. Benedict's play Naps. I think those matches will also be very, very mouth-watering, and you get to see the best of talent come to the forefront. So for me, looking forward to that. I have to tell you though, in the footage earlier today on SportsMax, I saw Angus Eve, and Angus is somebody that has been around the football, former coach of Naparima College, San Fernando. So it was good to see him looking on at the matches. I'm wondering if that's a sign.
Yeah, so very much right, Mariah. Presentation College, St. Anthony's College, Naparima and Signal Hill coming into this round of matches had won their first 2 encounters to all be on 6 points. So very competitive at the top of the standings in the early stages of the SSFL competition in Trinidad and Tobago. So much more to come on the SportsMax Zone, including a look at what happened in the UEFA Champions League today. We have a CPL, because guess what? We have to talk about the Barbados Royals. They've confirmed their playoff berth in the competition. Let's take a break. We're back with so much more.